Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, and I'm super excited. I've seen Richard is in here, Beth is in here, Jane, Miss Jane has shown up. Thank you guys for popping in already. We've got Ethan in here tonight. Ethan, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate you being willing to come in and talk with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited for tonight.
Ethan's been doing his homework. He's been watching some of our past live streams. I told him you guys would go easy on him, so don't make me a liar here. I've been talking with Ethan for a little bit. We wanted to get him in, but Ethan's in school, so we had to wait until school got going, until he got his schedule sort of figured out, and we finally got it. So yeah, you got all your homework done for the day, right?
Oh yeah, I finished all of it earlier in the day. I wake up pretty early. Like I try to maintain a certain schedule. Like I have to wake up at 6:30-ish on school days, and I just tend to stick with that so I don't like wake up late on the school days.
Well, Ethan, he is one of the youngest. You might be the youngest that we've had on this show. You've got to be. Joey Bada Bing 22 thinks he's the youngest reseller. You got him beat by quite a few years, man. Why don't you tell everybody kind of who you are?
All right. Well, I started this business back in March, and I started like get all my accounts set up, like my PayPal, my checking account, and all that. And I was about to start making videos. I actually posted two. I made my intro, and then I made one yard sale video, and then coronavirus started, and I just couldn't go to yard sales anymore. So I had to start watching videos on other ways to just keep like making videos, and just I got really smart. And then once I started being able to go to yard sales again, like I was just tip top. Like I was smart and ready.
Yeah, you did your homework and you knew kind of, because there is a little bit of a like a formula, right? Of just kind of how people have decided this is, and you can do your own thing, but generally there's sort of a way that people put together garage sale videos, and it sounds like you kind of figured that out.
Yeah, definitely. Like after watching a lot of videos, it just started to click in my head. So
yeah. So YouTube came later, right? I mean, reselling came first. How long have you been reselling? I mean, you're 13 years old. It can't be that long.
Oh, I started in March.
That's when you started with everything.
That's when I started doing reselling. Like I had two YouTube channels in the past where I did like little small, like fun little things. And then I also went to yard sales for a few years with my dad before like this. Like I started going to yard sales with my dad when I was like 7, but I never really made it like that serious. Like I just went with him. But now I realize that it's a good way to make money, and so I started my eBay, and I use yard sales and all that as a good way to make money, and then I use YouTube as a way to document all of it.
Yeah, that's really cool. So how did you get into reselling? Ethan, like what made you sort of make that connection of I can go to a garage sale and buy something and then sell it online?
All right, well, when I started, like there's a lot of things that I wanted to get, but like I just didn't have the money for it, and I wanted to find a good way to make money that was fun, and it just wasn't like that hard, so I didn't have to spend that much time like looking into it. And so I looked it up on YouTube, and I found Lonnie, and so I started watching a lot of his videos, and then I found Cincinnati Picker. I found a lot of other people, and so I started just doing research on it. I started all my accounts, and I just went from there. I got all smart on it, and now I'm here.
So what was the reaction with your folks? I mean, I'm sure there was some sort of conversation of, hey, this is what I want to do. How did that go?
Well, really, it was kind of like when I was scrolling on YouTube, I found the idea and I mentioned it to my dad, and he was like, yeah, that's a really cool idea, like being a young entrepreneur and all that. And he was telling me about how there's not really that many of those today. And so I was like, all right, so that's definitely going to be like a niche for me, like being a kid doing it. And so I started all that. I started my accounts and all that. And yeah.
So what was it like? I mean, it's not like you've been doing this for a very long time. What was it like kind of starting out? Like, it's one thing to have the idea of, hey, I can buy things and sell them, but then you got to actually find the things, right? And you got to go through the whole process. What was that like sort of at the beginning for you?
Like finding the things?
Yeah, like going out and figuring out, like, you can buy something and sell it, but how did you figure out what it is that you can buy?
Well, really, like I didn't really know at first. Like I went and I was selling things that were just around my house. Like I was selling some of my old like toys and clothes and stuff like that, and I was selling some of my like family things that they didn't want anymore. Like some of my dad's things, he told me I could list them and all that. And so I was just really doing that. And then I started scrolling on Facebook Marketplace and I found that big NASCAR deal and I bought that and I realized, yeah, these NASCAR things are definitely worth a lot. So that's really how I started doing this with all the NASCAR.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was talking with Ethan before the show, backstage, as it were, about the fact that there's a lot of NASCAR stuff that just doesn't sell. And Ethan has somehow, you found that niche because you definitely find the stuff that sells.
Oh yeah, like my guy, he always knows what I like. Like when I bought the first things from him, like he had some like 124 skill cars and all that, and he could just tell that I was interested. So now whenever he finds those kinds of things, he just knows, oh yeah, Ethan would definitely like these. So he emails me like right away, and I go down there and I buy them from him. He always gives me great prices, and yeah.
So let's talk about that, man, because you just mentioned that how like that's no big deal. Like, oh, okay, yeah, so my guy knows what I like. You're 13 years old, man. How did you get a guy? How do you have a connection?
Well, really, I just found him, and then so I bought like one purchase from him, and after that, like we just started talking, and he just he's just kind of like my guy now. Like after I bought that first little bit of things, like he was like he goes out and he finds all these different things, and when he buys what he wants out of it, which he's a police officer, so he buys like he like takes police cars and all that. But then whenever he finds like NASCAR stuff, he knows that I like it, and so he hits me up about that.
Okay. So, how did you sort of settle into NASCAR? Is it something that you liked beforehand, or is it just something that you sort of realized I kind of like it and it sells?
Well, I don't really like watch NASCAR or any of that. Like, I'm not really that interested in like watching it or anything like that. But it's definitely cool. Like, I got to know the racers from all the cars that I bought and all that, and so I think it's really cool. But yeah, it's really it. Like, I don't really like watch it like every day.
Yeah.
Really use it as a great way to make money, like
But you're
NASCAR.
in a great area for it. I mean, there's a lot of people down there that have collected NASCAR stuff. So at garage sales or Facebook Marketplace or whatever, you're in an area where you're going to find a lot of that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. But like the yard sales aren't that great down here though. Like I go to yard sales and really people are just selling like their like clothes and stuff like that, and I don't usually find like that much good stuff. But I go to a lot of yard sales. Like when I go out on a day to go yard selling, I go to a lot of them, and I find like a lot of great stuff.
So how does that work? Because you got to convince your dad to go with you, right?
Oh, he's perfectly like good. Like he loves to do it. He loves to go around with me and go yard selling because he's gone yard selling like before. Like I was telling you before, I've gone yard selling with him for a few years now, and so like when I told him to like take when I asked him if he can take me out and go yard selling with me, like he's perfectly okay to do that, and he's really excited about it. He loves to do it with me.
Yeah. So I'm curious what the reaction you get from people is, right? Because you walk up into a garage sale and you're the kid and they're going, oh, the stuffed animals are over there, right? Like, but you're there on business. Like, I mean, and they don't know that. I mean, how do they react to you?
Well, they don't like. They really just said like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then like I walk over and I look around, and when I find something, I just take it up to the desk, and they're like, and I start like asking them what they want for it and all that, and then I usually get like a kind of like a good deal on it because they're like, "Oh, he's a kid. I'll just go ahead and give him a great deal on it." So it's
So,
kind of easier to negotiate.
yeah, do you think you get better deals because of being so young?
Well, I mean, like honestly, probably because like if my dad was to go and like try to negotiate something, they'd be a little bit more like I feel like they'd be a little bit more like serious about it, but now they're like, "Oh, he's just a kid. Let's just like go ahead and give him a great deal on it."
And you're smart enough, I know, to take advantage of that,
Yeah, but they're definitely not like just handing it away.
right? Um, my wife is in the chat. She wants to know, Ethan, what you do when you're not reselling.
Well, when I'm not reselling, I have school, and then when I'm not doing school, I'm usually playing with my friends. Like outside, I play basketball, I play football, and then yeah, stuff like that. Like I like to do sports a lot.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you managed to fit all that in with, you were telling me you have like, what is it, like 380 listings or something?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like really, what it is when I have like free time, I go outside. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I finish doing my schoolwork, like I usually will go out and list and do like my shipping and all that. But like when I finish all of that, and I just feel like sometimes I just feel like going outside. But like I fit in like a good like I have a good routine.
So what is that routine like in terms of eBay, right? Like, do you try to list every day, or how do you do that?
Um, well, really, like what I've learned is like listing obviously isn't like that like fun. It's pretty boring, but like still, like you just gotta like realize that you just have to do it. And so whenever like I see like a lot of things, I'm like I might as well go ahead and list and get that number back up. And I also one thing that motivates me is because I have a goal to reach like 1,000 listings by the time I go to high school.
Sweet. Well, you're well on the way, man. You're doing such a good job. And Richard says, hats off to your dad for giving you the support to do what you do. What's that like, having the support of, I know not just your dad, but of your folks? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool to have this idea and think, you know what, I can do this, and then see them kind of back you up.
Oh yeah, they definitely support me all along the way. Like they're always there for me. So when I'm like whenever I need help on something, like when I started doing this, I really knew nothing about eBay. Like, I knew about yard sales and I knew about YouTube a little bit, but I didn't really know about like eBay. And so my dad taught me a lot about that and I just listened to everything he was telling me. And then I got smart of it really from him and then like videos.
Do you sell, is it just eBay, or do you sell anywhere else?
Um, I really only sell on eBay. Like I look on Facebook Marketplace and I see these other people who sell like shoes and stuff like that. These other kids, a lot of other kids. Like when I looked up kid reseller, I see kids selling things on like Poshmark and Mercari, like shoes and stuff like that. But I really only sell on eBay.
Okay.
Yeah,
And,
I'm mostly familiar with eBay, so that's
yeah.
really how I do that.
How many sales do you get, like, on average a day? Like, how many things are you packing up every day?
Well, it really depends how much I list like coming the days before that. Like if I list a lot of things, then I usually sell more. Because like, if I list a lot of things, obviously it gets higher on the search results. And so whenever people search up those things, like there's more to like find that's for me.
Yeah, yeah. And so, what has it been like seeing you're for people that don't know, for people that don't follow Ethan on YouTube? He's got over 1,000 subs now. I think you were probably helped out by you did that like review of Lonnie's channel and of John's channel and stuff like that. They probably sent a bunch of folks over your way, didn't they?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I got that first shout out, like I actually did my first review video on Rally Roots, but like I asked him if he saw the video on that, but he never like responded to me. So I went ahead and did another one on Lonnie, and he shouted me out, and I got like 200 subscribers from that. And so I was like, oh yeah, I definitely got to make more of these.
Well, don't feel bad. It's not because you're a kid. I asked them to be on my show, and I heard back from them, but they said no. I got like a couple sentences back, and they're really busy. But I gotta, you know what? Not at this time. So I barely got more than you did for Rally Roots.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like yeah. I mean, like you really just gotta like kind of understand that they do like a lot of like different things. Like we don't really know what they're doing in their everyday life and all
Right.
that.
Well, and it's, I mean, I think that speaks pretty highly of you that you're willing to take a swing. I mean, that you're swinging big when you go for them, right? Like that's a deal.
Well, yeah, it's because I feel like they're really talented. Like I watch a lot of their videos. I watch Cincinnati Picker and Part Time Pickers and Shed Flips like all the time. Like they're just really talented. So I thought if I was gonna hit anybody up to give me like a shout out or something like that, it'd definitely be them.
Yeah. Um, she says this is a Benjamin Button situation. You're really 40 years old. Is that right, Ethan? You're actually 40?
No, no, I'm not. I wish I was, because then like I'd have a lot more knowledge. But I'm not there yet.
Yeah, well, and guys, it's so cool that he started off so early, and that Ethan is doing this thing and starting it from the ground up. I mean, you have plans for this thing. I mean, this isn't like a temporary. This is not a hobby. You want to develop this into something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I feel like it'd be really cool, like when I'm older, to like have my own business and all that. Like I feel like that'd just be a super cool thing. Like that's one of the reasons I really like this business. Like it's like the first steps into developing something that can be super big.
When did you kind of realize that? I mean, when did it turn from you wanted a little bit of extra money to get this, to get that, to wait a minute, I think there could be like long-term success here.
Well, all right. Well, it's really when I kind of figured out that like how much money you make from YouTube. Like like I see there's just one guy named Bia Heza. He's like 17 years old, and he has like 700,000 subscribers, and he makes like a lot of money. Like he makes like $1 million every like year. Like it's a lot. It's really crazy. And so
So
when I realized how much money you can make from YouTube, I was like, oh yeah, this could like if I just keep saving this money up, like it could just be really big and like awesome. So I
yeah.
definitely put so much effort into it so it can just be as great as possible.
So when you become a millionaire, Ethan, and you write your book, I want a copy
Yeah, definitely.
because I know it's going to happen. I know I know that's going to happen. I know you're going to write the book. It's going to be a bestseller. I mean, it's really impressive. Somebody mentioned earlier on that. I mean, it is an inspiration, not just to young people, but I mean to everybody to see like, look, this is a kid. He's in 8th grade, and he's taking the initiative. I mean, you're doing really cool things.
Oh yeah, like that's one of the reasons that I do. Like I always want to be like inspiring and like encouraging to other people to just know that like it doesn't matter like what age you are, you can always just make a lot of money and you can always just reach success. Like it might not you might not feel like you can reach it, but you definitely can. Like there's always going to be a way.
Richard says, just by the way, you have your own business right now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you have a storefront, but you've got a business, man.
Oh yeah, like I am trying to develop that business as much as I possibly can.
You mentioned you've got a guy. Um, we talked about kind of how that started, but do you tell people? I mean, did you tell him like you went into this with the intent to buy that and then resell it? I mean, do you tell people what you're doing?
Um, Well, I kind of feel like if I was to tell people that I'm an eBay reseller, like I definitely tell my guy that I'm an eBay reseller. Like he knows that I'm an eBay reseller. And so, but like when I go to yard sales and all that, like I don't really want to tell them that I'm an eBay reseller because then when I walk up to buy something, they're like, "Oh yeah, well if this guy is trying to flip this, then it must be worth a lot." So it's kind of like that.
So garage sales, you kind of keep it low key. Do you do the same thing on like marketplace when you're making bulk buys on there?
Um, well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean, like,
Because I guess I just wonder, like when you walk in, because you're not making like $20 deals. I mean, you're going buying. I mean, for people that don't realize that haven't watched Ethan's channel, he's not going in saying buying a dozen cars. He's buying hundreds of cars, like multi-$100 deals, man. Like I remember my first big deal, $520. I was like sweating, and I'm like, I'm handing over a lot of money, and you're making these deals like kind of routinely now.
yeah, like that's like kind of like the stressful part of it. Like, like when you're trying to pick how much you want to like offer for it, it's kind of like, or how much you want to ask, like what they want for it. Like it's kind of confusing because you don't know like I don't want to offer too little because like, or I don't want to offer like I don't know. I just don't really want to like make it to where I don't make like any money on it. It's kind of like stressful.
Yeah. So, what has been your most expensive purchase so far when you make those big bulk purchases?
Oh yeah, definitely that NASCAR deal that I made in the beginning. That was insane. I bought it for $500, and I've made almost like $7,000 in net sales from that already. Like it's
That's
just insane.
crazy, man. Like, and that was mostly like just small cars, right?
Well, it had a lot of different things. It had like shadow boxes. It had 124 skill cars, 164 skill cars. It had all sorts of different things in there, but it all had to do with NASCAR. So it's just a bunch of different NASCAR things all bulked up in there. And that's one of the reasons that I got to know NASCAR so well, because looking up all those different things, you get to know what is worth more.
So explain to people, because this is kind of becoming an area where you're an expert right now in these NASCAR type items. Explain to the folks watching what NASCAR sells, because so many of us have trouble moving NASCAR. What is it that sells for you with NASCAR stuff?
Well, really, all right. So it depends on like a lot of different things. Like it depends on the driver. Like there's drivers that are more popular than others, like Dale Earnhardt and Tony Stewart and those kinds of people. Those drivers are always like you can always make more money on those people than like others. It's kind of it's like that.
So a lot of it is learning the popular drivers ultimately.
Yeah, that was one thing that was pretty hard because I didn't know like anybody. Like I really didn't know anybody before like I started doing this. Like I don't know NASCAR like really at all until I started doing this.
Okay.
So I learned a lot about NASCAR along the way, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess it's no different than if you're an expert in purses, right? You learn the brands and stuff that people like. It's the same deal. It's just your thing is learning drivers and what things are popular.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely just like that.
So what do you like to sell the most? I mean, do you like to sell the NASCAR stuff, or are there other things that you enjoy selling other than that?
Well, I mean, like I'll sell anything. It's just like the only reason that I really just mainly sell NASCAR is because like I just know so much about it. Like when I find 124 skill cars on Facebook Marketplace, I'm like, oh my god, look at all these 124 skill cars. Like I can make a lot of money from this. But if I was to find like 5 random purses on Facebook Marketplace, I wouldn't know if those were going to sell for long. They could be like a really popular brand, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah. So explain to people the scale, because you were talking to me before, like you've kind of learned the different sizes, which go better and for more. Explain to people what that's about.
All right, so big cars that kind of go in the priority mail shoe boxes are the 124 skill cars. Those go perfectly in the priority mail shoe boxes, and so those ones are worth more. And then 164 skill cars are kind of like the smaller ones, and those aren't worth as much. Like they're not worth as much. But you know, you never know. Like there might be like a Dale Earnhardt 164 skill car that can be worth a lot.
So for the most part, you want the bigger. I'm going to grab, you know what? I got something sitting right here. I picked this up this weekend, and I haven't even looked it up yet. It's filthy. This is probably a 124th, right?
No, I feel like that'd probably be like a 118.
Is it bigger? Okay.
Yeah, it's bigger.
Yeah, it's a Hummer. It's actually pretty cool. But I just thought it was neat, so I picked it up. I don't know anything about it. But this is the kind of thing you sell. Maybe not the same size, but these are the type of cars we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But
Okay.
it's in like a box and it has like the driver and like the number and all that on there.
Yeah. This is obviously it's been taken out, but I don't know. I don't think this is worth a lot. I think this is worth like $15 plus shipping, but I thought it was cool, so I picked it up. How do you store everything just in the garage, right?
Yeah, I keep all of it in my garage for right now. I have these 2 big racks that store all my stuff. I have a bunch of big gray tubs that are on my 2 racks.
Richard, you just made, and Ethan, you're part of it. You just made history. That's our first super chat in Keeping It Real history. How about that? Richard, thanks, man. I appreciate it. We've got some in some of our premieres before, but never anything during a live interview. So, Ethan, they like you so much. I've been doing these for I don't know how long now, and we finally got a super chat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congrats on that.
Well, hey, it's you, man. It's when bringing on good guests. Richard, really, man. Richard is fantastic. It's he's got an automobile themed name there. Actually, if you don't realize, it's Ford Pinto spelled backwards. Ethan, not quite a NASCAR level, not quite NASCAR, but Ford Pinto. Richard, thanks so much, man. I sure appreciate it. Ethan, what do the kids at school think?
Well, some of them like I don't really like to talk about it a lot in school because like I don't really want them to think I'm like bragging about it. But all my friends, they know about it and they're really supportive of me. My friends are super supportive of me. Like they watch all of my videos. One of my friends was actually my first subscriber, and like you know they watch every single one of my videos like super quickly, and so they're super supportive, definitely.
Very cool. Kat, the nurse flipper, is in here now. Kat, I know. Ethan, were you working with Kat at some point to get on her show too, right?
Oh yeah, like I was going to go on one of her shows, but then I was on a vacation, so I couldn't.
Kat, I scooped him up before you could get him. Kat's fantastic. Yeah, I'm sure you guys will hook up and be on her channel. She sells a lot of scarves, I think, scarves and like glass stuff. I don't know. You're just selling scarves now, right? Um, let's see who else we got in here. Miss Jane is still in here. Richard, yeah, thank you, Nikki T. I didn't say hi to Nikki T. Nikki T is in here. Lisa's Liquidations. Ethan, you're drawing quite a crowd in here, my friend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not bad for your first ever live. We're like halfway through it. It's not that bad, right?
I mean, yeah, like I was just a little bit nervous because like I don't know, I just get nervous in front of crowds.
Yeah. Well, we're family here. We're easy on you. How many people have reached out to you to be on their live?
I think you and then two other people have.
Okay.
I had Nurse Flipper and then this guy named Prison to Profit wanted me to be on his live stream.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get him on ours as well. He's really cool guy.
Yeah, he's definitely a cool guy. I watch a lot of his videos.
Do you like what have you pulled out of other people's videos that you're like, you know what, I like that. I'm gonna find a way to work it into my videos, or
Oh yeah,
find a way
definitely,
to change it and use it.
definitely a lot of things. Like I learn a lot from other people's success. Like for example, Cincinnati Picker, he had these cool stickers right here, and so I made my own. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of cool. I
That's
made
all.
That's my own sticker. I got that from Cincinnati Picker.
Mark is in here. Hey, there's Danny May. Danny, we were talking about you in the pregame. So Ethan, Danny May showed up for you.
Oh yeah, she's definitely really nice. I saw her on Commonwealth Pickers kids one.
Yeah, he was watching Danny May. He was watching some of our previous interviews, and he caught when you came on with the homeschool hustlers. So you were already yep. See, yep, we were talking about you. We were talking nice. Kentucky Ye wants to know: do you still go to garage sales?
Yeah, I try to go to them as much as possible, but I haven't really gone to them in the last few weeks because like I just keep getting these awesome deals with my guy, and so like I don't want to buy more stuff. I just want to list.
Yeah, because you've got like, what does your death pile situation look like with these bulk buys? That can kind of get out of hand a little bit.
I mean, yeah, like I have a good amount that I haven't listed yet because I make a lot of good deals, and then there's usually a lot in those deals, so I really can't like I don't know, like I have school and all that, but I try to list as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. And random Ethan fact, I'm going to throw it out there. He likes Greek mythology. So there you go. You know that about Ethan now. What is it about that you like, man? I think that's really interesting.
Well, I just love how creative, like how people just thought of that cool idea, and I just think that that's super cool. Like learning about like Hades and Zeus and all that, it's just so cool. Like I don't know, I just really interests me how they have like superpowers.
Yeah. They're the original superheroes and villains, right?
Yeah, kind of. But I really just enjoy that. I feel like it's really creative and interesting, and just like I don't know, it always gets my attention.
That's cool. Yeah, I always liked history. History is my thing. I had a minor in history in college. Do you? I mean, what do you? It's very early, obviously, in your schooling career, but are you thinking about college?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I want to go to Clemson University. That's
Nice.
where I want to go for college because I like their football team, and then also it's just like a really awesome school. Like I definitely really want to go there. All my friends want to go there, and yeah, that's the school that I'm aiming to go to right now.
Okay. Well, and if you keep doing this, I mean, you're going to be able to save up. You're going to be able to pay for college. I mean, by the time you get to college, because you're eighth grade now, you've got plenty of time to save up.
Oh
You
yeah,
can pay for college with garage sales and Facebook Marketplace.
oh yeah, definitely. That's kind of how I put my money when I actually wanted to talk about that a little bit. I put my money towards I save a lot of it up. I take it out and I put it in my checking account. So I save a lot of it up, and then whenever I have to buy a big like bulk buy, I take some of it out and buy that. And then also when I have a really good money making weekend, I take some out just to spend.
Nice. I saw a question for me in here. Kentucky wants to know. Yeah, I'm part time. My day job, I'm a radio guy. My alarm goes off about 3:30 in the morning, and I get to work when it's dark. I co-host a morning show on the radio, morning news show, and then I host a daily interview show, and then do online stuff and set up more interviews and that sort of thing. And then I'm usually off by about 1 o'clock or so, and then that leaves me afternoons to go to Goodwill or go to other thrift stores or things like that. Do you do Goodwill a little bit? You go to Goodwill a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I go to Goodwill. I bought these skis there a few months back, and then also I went there recently, and I found this cool food tumbler thing that sold for like $100-something.
Oh yeah, I saw that on your deal. That was a great find because it was still new in the box, right?
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I do when I go to Goodwill. Like I look for things that are new in the boxes because those tend to be worth more.
Okay. Yeah, that thing looked neat. At first, when I saw it, I thought it was some sort of roaster, but it's just to season things, huh?
Yeah, I don't like really know a lot about cooking, so like when I saw that, I just really was based off of, like the sold comps.
Yeah, you don't have to know what it is, especially if it has a barcode. It doesn't matter. What Jane is wondering what you're going to study in college.
I'm not really sure yet, honestly. Like I wanna be an entrepreneur like through my child or through my adulthood as well. So
Nice.
like I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, but I definitely just want to go to college, and I don't really know what I'm gonna study yet, but I'll find something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can pay for it with this stuff, honestly, I started doing this in basically to pay off student loans. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm still paying off student loans years and years and years later I've paid off mine now, and now we're working on paying off my wife. So if you can go through college without having that debt, it's unbelievable how well you're setting yourself up for the future. And I mean, that's really impressive that you're already thinking about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I still don't really know what I'm gonna study though.
No, you don't have to know, man. You got years. You got years, and you're not going to have to worry about paying for stuff. So you got the time to think about what you want to do. Nana Tink is now in here. Nana, thanks for showing up. Trish, I sure appreciate you coming in. Ethan, does your guy resell too, or is he just a collector?
Oh yeah, he resells. He resells on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. But really, when he finds NASCAR things, he just hits me up about it
Okay.
because he knows how to buy them.
Yeah, it's cool to have a guy that knows that you're going to give him money right away. He doesn't have to go through the process of listing and all of that. He's just going to get cash flow to turn right back around. That's really cool that you already got that connection. A lot of people don't. And I mean, you're starting this thing off really, really well.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely really appreciative for him. Like he gets me the best cars ever that I sell for a lot of money. So I'm really appreciative that I have him to like always tell me when he finds all these awesome cars and cool things.
Tell people about this new thing because people have asked, do you sell other type of racing stuff? I know you sell all sorts of different things, but and it's still NASCAR, but you've got a really cool item that you just picked up. You talked about it in your latest video, or maybe two back, the Ryan Newman piece. Tell folks about that because that is awesome.
Oh my god, yeah. So that thing, all right. So it's a door of a Ryan Newman car that he had, and it's all scratched up and dented, and it has like rubber marks. That's the thing that really caught my eye when I went there and I saw that rubber marks. I thought it looks like a gray paint streak across it, but then like my dad told me, oh no, that's when a car bumped into him and it just scratched all the paint or all the rubber from the wheel onto that. And so yeah, that really caught my eye like immediately. And so I'm really glad to have that thing. Like when I go outside and I go through the garage and I look at that thing, I'm like, I'm so lucky to have that thing.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's a really, really cool piece. Like seeing it on video, I can't imagine having it. And that's one of the neat things about doing this. And I love doing this to sort of, you get to collect things for a short time, right? Like you get to enjoy it for a little bit before you move it on to somebody else. So that's cool because how many other, well, I know the answer. No other 13-year-olds in America have a NASCAR door with tire marks on it, like an actual door. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, I'm so lucky to have that thing. Like I'm so glad that I have it too. Because like when I go out there, once again, when I go out there and I look at that thing, I'm like, dang. Like it's just an example of how rough NASCAR must be. Like you're just bumping into each other like back and forth.
Yeah, Richard, I think I already came up with a slogan for Ethan from one of his last videos. We're gonna mention that, but I have a guy too. That's not bad either. That's a good one. Hey, Steve-O showed up. Steve-O in South Carolina. Thanks for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Have you listed that door yet, Ethan?
Yep, I listed it. It's already being watched by one person.
What did you list that for?
I listed it for $199 plus shipping.
Man, I'm not even a NASCAR guy. I'd almost buy it for that. I mean, that's probably a fantastic deal. That's a one-of-a-kind piece.
Oh yeah, and if somebody wants to offer a little bit less, we can coordinate that. But I thought it'd be good to start it at that.
Yeah, I think that it's a really cool piece for any NASCAR person. I mean, that to hang that in your man cave would be unreal.
Yeah, definitely. Like looking at that thing is just so mind blowing. I'm like, I have this thing in my garage, and I'm about to make a lot of money from it, and I know I am too because
Yeah.
one of a kind piece. Like,
sorry, my phone is ringing and I didn't put it on silent. Man, at the radio station, if our phone goes off while we're on the air, we owe everybody donuts. So I might have to send you donuts, Ethan. Junk to be loved says he's asking because he lives in Knoxville, the sprint car capital. So sprint car racing stuff sells good there.
yep.
You do sprint car stuff too?
Yeah, if I find those, I'll definitely list those. But yeah, those definitely go for a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, see, Nana was late, but she already knows that you're amazing. He's only 13. What did you all do when you were 13? Yeah, I wasn't starting my own business, Nana. I can tell you that. Steve-O wants to know what your biggest flip is. So what's your biggest win so far?
My biggest flip was when I was first starting and I was still selling random things around my house that my family didn't want anymore. I was just scrolling through Facebook Marketplace and I got super lucky and I found this NASCAR deal of about like a few thousand NASCAR cars, and I went there and it was in a big warehouse spread all across the floor, and I tried to get it down. He wanted 500 for it, but there's like a lot of people that were already like driving there or like about to drive there, and so I had to come up with a price really quick. And when he said he wanted 500, I was like, "You like what about like 350?" And he's like, "Nope, 500." And so I had to buy for 500, but I mean like it doesn't really matter because I'm making thousands on that deal. Like I'm still making money off of that deal, and I made that months ago. I don't even like I haven't sold at even all of that yet.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean to make like $7,000 or something you said off of that. That's crazy. Is there one item? Like, what's your biggest one item flip?
Like I don't really know. Like sorry, but I don't really know because there's a lot of stuff in there. Like there's a lot in there, and we made a lot of money from some of it. But I'm not really sure what we made the most money on. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry, man. It's a good thing to not know. You're like, you know what? I sold too much stuff. I can't pick one thing out. That's a terrible problem to have, man. So what is your death pile look like? Because garage, I know you're not going to garage sales a lot, but those are going to dry up here pretty soon for a lot of folks. I mean, are you sort of planning on using that stuff through the winter, or do you think your guy's going to still keep coming through year round?
Oh, he's always going to be coming through. I just feel like because he restocks so quickly. Like I bought a deal from him, and it just seemed like right away he was already like restocked. And he sells things in this like storage locker. And when we drive down there, he just raises the lid, and the place is just filled to the rim of just the NASCAR stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. How did you, when you got started with this? How did you get started? I mean, did you basically take out a loan from your folks and say, "Hey, can I borrow $20 to start this?" Did you use your own money? How did you get this thing going?
Well, we didn't really. All right, so my family they bought me like camera, like some YouTube equipment to do that stuff. But then once again with the eBay like selling things, I didn't really have to buy anything at first because we were listing things around my house. Like I went around for a few hours, and I just found like old clothes and toys and stuff like that. And so I made a lot of money from that. But then like it wasn't that soon after we started where that NASCAR deal happened.
Yeah. Okay. So where did that come in? Did you use your profits then to buy that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. That was $500 that we bought that for, and we're still making money on that deal.
Were you nervous when you first did that though? I mean, that's a huge amount of money, especially at the very beginning to lay out. I mean, I know you looked up comps and you kind of had an idea, but it still had to be a little bit nerve-wracking, right?
Oh yeah, like I was just getting started then, and so I was like really lost on what price I should choose for that. Like, my dad had to kind of help me find a good price for that. Like I was thinking, and I was just trying to think of a good price, but like I was just so worried. Like it was really nerve wracking because he was sitting there staring at me, and he was just waiting for me to say a number, and it was really stressful. Like it was definitely, but I'm getting better at that. I'm definitely getting better at that now.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people have a hard time with the negotiating, especially at garage sales. I was going to ask how you do with that. Or do you feel comfortable sort of coming back at people or offering less than what they're asking for?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel comfortable doing that. I they have like a price tag on it, and if they don't, I ask what they want for it, and they say a price, and I negotiate like a reasonable price. Like if they say they want $10 for something, I'm like, would you take seven? And they're like, sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's so cool. We've got question. Where did you get that fear of missing out shirt?
Oh, this is actually a shirt on my merch store, Ethan's.
Look at that.
It,
He's got a guy, and then he's just like, oh yeah, I have a merch store.
yeah,
You're
my dad
incredible.
actually created this for me, so I actually asked him. I was like, yeah, we need to put some stuff on this merch store. And so I got back from school and he was like, oh, yeah, I made like 5 shirts. I was like, oh, that's cool. And we got them in the mail. And yeah, they're super cool. We have a lot of stuff on there. We have a buy, sell, repeat thing. We have a lot of cool shirts on there and clothes on there that are just really awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the link to that store, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll send you the link to it.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'll put that for the folks that are watching. Ethan will send me that link, and I'll put it down underneath in the description. I actually have. I realized, Ethan, I didn't put any description in this thing. We still have 45 people watching. I forgot to put the description in today because I got so busy. So we got no keywords. We've got nothing, and people are still showing up to watch you. I will put that in here in a little while. Falcon Flips is in here. Yeah, Falcon. He started in March, man.
That's my friend.
Is it?
Yeah, that's my friend Evan.
Okay, Evan. Thanks for coming in, man. See, you're blowing up the YouTube. When are you? Okay, yeah, Danny. That's what we're talking about. I mentioned that to Richard. I wanted to circle around to that. On your on Ethan's most recent video, he was talking about he came across a deal on Facebook Marketplace, and it was well, you tell. I'm going to ruin your story, man. You go ahead and tell it.
All right, so I found that deal on Facebook Marketplace, and it was kind of late at night. Like I messaged him about it, and he was like, "Yeah," but he had a lot of other people that were kind of like looking at it, and so he was like, "Well, if you want it, you have to come tonight and grab it." And so I was like, "Okay." And the reason I said that is because I wasn't sure if my mom was gonna be okay with me going there that late at night on a school night.
Yeah. So in Ethan's video, just like in passing, he's like, "Yeah, my dad said he'd take me. Mom wasn't real happy about it, but it's whatever." And then I just thought it was hilarious. So I think that, Richard, is Ethan's catchphrase is, but it's whatever. I'm waiting for that t-shirt.
I feel like I'm probably gonna make a merch shirt about that.
I'm going to buy it, man. Whenever you make one, I'm going to get one from you. I think, but it's whatever. I think that you can make mugs, you can make stickers. You're going to make a lot of money off of, but it's whatever. I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, and the stickers. I actually have 2 stickers as well, right there.
How about that?
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I got these stickers. My dad also made those for me, and they're really cool. I have
So
like my dad creates like a lot. Like my dad really likes to design. So when I asked him if he wanted like if he could make me some of those things, he was like, "Oh yeah, sure," and he like made me them, and they're really cool.
I have to hire your dad. Yeah, Nana says like he's got a merch store. I'm so behind. Like, yeah, I don't know if you realize how ahead of the curve you are, Ethan, from a lot of us that have been doing this for years. You're ahead of us.
Yeah, well, I also watch like Mr. Beast and stuff like that, and his merch store like takes off. So I was like, if he has a merch store that's taking off, what if I have a merch store? Like that would be pretty cool. And
Yeah,
so
I like that I mean, you look at other people that are successful and say, what are they doing? And then you emulate that and make it fit for you. And that's so smart. And I don't know if you realize that's what you're doing or if it's just sort of, it's just instinctual that you're doing it. It's really, really impressive, man. Yeah. And Richard says, just remember school, growing up and having fun should come first. So yeah, I struggle with that too, Richard. I'm not very good with that. So Ethan, don't fall into the trap. Learn time management now, because I'm terrible at it.
yeah, well, having fun, like this business is having fun for me. Like I do sports, but this is also fun for me. Like I really like it's such a great community. Like the comments on my videos are just always so like always so awesome. And sometimes when I sell things on eBay, somebody sends me a message like a viewer, and they're like, "Hey, I'm a viewer or subscriber," and it just makes me feel so my heart so warm.
Yeah, that's awesome. My wife even says if you do it's whatever merch, she wants one signed, because yeah, she's a mom. She hears that, and she's a teacher. So yeah, she hears that at home and at work. Danny May is going to come back and watch this whole thing. She's bouncing, but she says she promised you she'd be here, and she's here as much as she can. Danny May, you're good, man. You're good. Business cards. Do you have those too?
Oh yeah, I have a business card right here actually.
Of course he does. Yeah, man, he is all over this thing. And now we kind of threw your mom under the bus a little bit there with well, but it's whatever. Let's you've been talking about your dad a lot. Yeah, I know your mom supports you with this thing too.
Oh yeah, she definitely supports me. Yeah, she's always there for me.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. And yeah, Nana says congrats to your parents. They've done an amazing job. See, everybody loves you, man. If we could all have the kind of faith that Ethan has. Yeah, I mean, I love that you do your research. You're essentially doing market research on YouTube, on eBay. It's really, really impressive. Where do you see your YouTube channel going in the future? Like, what do you want it to be?
Well, I feel like my YouTube channel is just going to keep growing. And what I want really right now is by the time I get to high school, I want like a few more thousand.
No big deal. No.
Yeah, that's the rest of the year, and then also summer for me to just keep grinding at it.
So, what do you want to put on there? I mean, I know you do a lot of like, hey, here's what I bought. You've done some garage sales stuff. Are there any other things that you want to put on your channel?
Well, right now I'm actually kind of thinking of maybe starting my own kind of live stream, but it's gonna be with kids. Like I just feel like that would be a kind of a cool idea. Like it's where I'm on there with a bunch of other people, like other kid resellers who feel like they want to start, and it'd be kind of like a good way to motivate them to start doing what I'm doing, and then they can become successful as well. Because it's cool for a kid to have like such a big community that likes them and stuff like that. Because like, trust me, kids in my school and all that, they're like watching YouTube all the time. They're like, oh my god, look at Mr. Beast, he's so awesome, stuff like that. And so being like a popular YouTuber is just such a cool thing and such a cool experience. And I feel like kids all over the place should be able to do that and have that awesome experience.
So, well, I want to ask this from Steve O before it gets past me. Do you have a Goodwill bin store near you?
Oh yeah, it's right down the street.
Okay. Have you done that before or no?
No, not yet.
Okay. Is that something you might do, or is that just not your thing?
I'm not really. I don't really know that much about that, but I'll definitely look into that. Speaking
Yeah.
of, I also wanted to mention another sticker that I have. So my school, our logo is it's called the Nighthawks. That's what we like call each other. And so it's a bird. It's like an eagle with like a night helmet on. And so me and my dad, we created. It's like a bird looking to the side. And so me and my dad, we came up with this cool other sticker for our like school, and it's the bird, but it's looking forward. So it's
That
really
is
cool.
cool.
Yeah, me and my dad created that on PowerPoint, and it looks really cool.
Man, you get more and more impressive the longer we go into this interview. I think if we go past our standard hour, you're going to somehow be my boss at some point because you're doing so much. Nana, you tell her you're doing school, but it's a hybrid thing. Like you're at home and you're in school.
Yeah, so basically what I do is I do a schedule where it's every week we rotate where we have A week kids and then A days and then B day kids. And so A day kids, it's like 1 week they go to school on Monday, and then on Tuesday they do e-learning, and then on Wednesday they go into school, and on Thursday they do e-learning, and then that next week they it switches around. So it's like Monday they do e-learning, and then it goes so on and so forth like that.
Has that? I mean, obviously you'd rather be in school. I'm sure. I know you like school, but in a way, has that helped you with the reselling thing? You have a little bit more time to do that now with reselling and YouTube and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like it'd be a lot more hard if I had to go in there every day and then come home and do homework. Like, kind of the cool part about it is how when I go home on the days where I have school, I don't have homework. You know what I mean? Like, I do all that homework I would have to do when I get home and I'm trying to relax is my e-learning work. So it's kind of like I have like a whole nother day to do my homework. It gets awesome. I love it so much.
I'm not sure which one of us Joey's talking about, Ethan, but Joey Bada Bing 22 is in. We mentioned you earlier in the show, man. You like to think that you're the youngest reseller. I'm just saying, man. Like Ethan, look at him. He's just sitting there. He's like, yeah, I kind of got you beat by like years. Like, yeah, no big deal. Thanks for coming in, Joey. For everybody that's in here tonight, we got about 10 minutes left or so with Ethan, and then Joey Bada Bing 22 over on his channel has a live coming up. It's are you just doing a live listing tonight, Joey, or do you have a guest? Either way, people need to go over to Joey's channel and hang out with Joey. But yeah, I mean it's sort of the double header on Monday night. We both have something going on. So Joey, thanks for coming in, man. I know you're getting ready to do your show. I don't know how, but I'm already a sub to this resub. See that Nana didn't even know it. She's already subbed to you. Yeah, there's Joey. Thank you, Joey. You've got a beautiful soul yourself, my friend. eBay Addicts is on. I was just on eBay Addicts channel. I did a live with them. Hey, you got to hook up with Ethan. He would do your live, I'm pretty sure.
See,
I've got a 10-year-old nephew helping me resell. That's awesome, Steve. Let's see. We got all these chat notices coming in on me. And this one is the young. Do you know? You said when you got on, Ethan, that you started looking at other like kid resellers. Are there others? I mean, how many are there?
Well, they don't really do what we do, where we like sell like normal old like things on YouTube. But what they like to do is, all right. So when I looked up kid reseller, I thought that would be the best thing to search up, and really all I could see was a bunch of different kids who sell like these popular like trending shoes from their schools and stuff like that on like Mercari and like Poshmark.
Okay, so there's, I mean, yeah, I thought maybe somehow I was missing out because I didn't know that there were other kids doing like what you're doing, but it sounds like
Oh yeah.
it's kind of not.
Okay, they don't do like they don't go to yard sales and like find find stuff and then like list it and like that. Like, they don't even do eBay. They like do a whole different kind of thing.
My wife is going to pick up our kiddo from work. She says that I appreciate, she knows that you appreciate your parents. Happy to see you showing them love. Yeah, I mean that is really cool. How much your parents are involved, especially your dad is super involved with all this stuff.
Okay, and when I'm
be able to kind of work with him because you're kind of, I mean, in a way, this is kind of a partnership with him, at least on like that the design and the merchandising and that sort of thing. And he's taking you to garage sales. You get a lot of time with your dad through this thing.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely thankful for that. I like to spend as much time with him as possible. Like he used to be in the military like many years. But now that he's retired, it's just nice that I get to spend more time with him. But I'm also doing my business, so it's awesome.
Yeah. Cajun Roots reseller wants to be just like you. Yeah, I think a lot of us want to be like Ethan when we grow up. Um, you, I don't know that you realize um, how how far ahead, like I said, of the curve that you are, and how level headed. I mean, you're an impressive young man, Ethan. You really, really are.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that's like one of my things that I really want to do in like my career. Like I really want at some point to just be inspiring and encouraging to other people. Like right now, there's other kids out there that could just be like, my friends, for example, they go and they have to like, mow lawn and like rake leaves and all that. But like, I just really, I can't stress this enough. I really want to be a good example for other kids, and they can make so much money and just like have such a fun time. Like, it's such an awesome. This business is literally the best opportunity that they could ever have, and they can do it right now.
Yeah, and how many lawns do you have to mow to make a few $1,000s, right? Like, I mean, literally, you're making thousands of dollars right now on eBay.
Oh yeah, when I used to live in Virginia before this, I went out one day when it was snowing, like a lot of like there was like a blizzard and there was like 2 feet of snow. And so we went out with me and one of my other friends. We went out and we shoveled snow all day from like 9 in the morning to like 8 p.m. that night, and it was like a Saturday night. And we only made total us two $50, and we had to split that into two. It's just so awesome. Like it's such an
Was
opportunity.
that when you retired from the shoveling business that
Oh yeah,
day?
I was like, this is so much work for like nothing. So it's yeah, but I was definitely grateful for that at the time because I didn't know about this.
Yeah, Kentucky says most 15-year-olds I know only resell one thing like video games, but for you to resell different things at 13 is amazing. Yeah, I mean, he's got his niche. He's learned that he knows NASCAR. He's got a NASCAR Connect, but he's going to Goodwill and buying like a tumbler that seasons your turkeys and your chickens. It's incredible, man. You're doing other stuff. He knows how to comp. Ethan has this thing figured out. This Ace Man Montana, I think, right? Ryan in Missoula, right? Yeah, Ryan bought something from my store the other day. Thanks for doing that. I sure appreciate that, dude. That's awesome. 5280 Fines has been a subscriber to you for months. Love this kid. See that? You got fans, man.
I remember seeing that name subscribe. I feel like I remember that.
Kentucky says he mows and resells part-time. It would take 34 yards to make $1,000. Yeah, if you like doing it, that's the thing, but I like doing it. So yeah, I mean, if you like doing it, then go out there and make it happen. And that's what's neat is Ethan's found something that he likes and that obviously he's very good at. And that's what's neat is if this thing can be your hobby and this thing can be something that you enjoy doing in your spare time, then it's no big deal to go out sourcing, and even if you don't like listing and shipping and all that, right?
Yeah, like I'll be sitting there on my game playing with my friends, and I'm like, oh shoot, I just sold this thing for like $100. I'm like, oh my god, I have to spend weeks working to make that much money, and I'm like, well, you can do it too. Like that's literally what I want to try to get out there. I want like everybody could do this. Like it's the best opportunity that they could possibly do right now. You don't need any skill for it. You just need to watch YouTube videos, which all kids do. All kids watch YouTube videos. You watch Mr. Beast, you watch gaming videos. Just watch some of these.
Mm-hmm.
You can just get so much knowledge on something that could start out your life so positively, and you can make so much money. It's just the best thing ever.
Man, you got this thing figured out. I'm excited that I've been subscribed to you. I'm excited to be able to watch you grow because where you're at right now, you guys, if you just joined, he started in March is when Ethan started this thing. He started this thing in spring. Look at where he's at. I mean, you're not just out there inspiring kids, man. Like we've got 4 dozen people in here that you're inspiring by what you're doing and seeing what's possible if you just sort of set your mind and have the right mindset. It's really, really impressive, man.
Yeah, I found there's a quote that from a famous man, and it says, if you give a man a fish, you'll eat for a day, but if you teach a man to fish, then he'll eat for a lifetime. And that basically is what I'm doing. Like I learned how to resell, and I'm making money every day. It's awesome.
Well, I'm real excited, like I said, to watch you continue. I want to be respectful of your time. We've been going for an hour, Ethan. Do you have any sort of parting words or any thoughts of where eBay is going for you, where YouTube is going for you, or any message for the people watching?
Well, my message for the people watching this is thank you guys so much for all the awesome support. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's just such an awesome community. I'm over here looking at this chat, and there's just all these positive comments, and that is literally just the thing that I need when I come home from school is to check my phone and see these comments from all these nice people. And another thing I want to say is that, like, tell your kids, like if your kids are ever asking you for money to go to the store or asking for money for a new game, then go ahead and tell them that this is how you can make money. Go ahead and resell. Do that, and you'll make so much money. You can buy every game in the world if you want to.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that, man. You've got a lot of knowledge that you've dropped on people tonight. What is your eBay store? Is that linked through your in the description of your videos if people go to your YouTube channel?
Yep, I have a Word document, and it has all of my links and hashtags that I put on everything. And just if you're wondering and you don't want to go check on my videos and find out my thing, it's JRC_finds.
JRC_finds. So that's what you are on. So let me put a JRC. Oh, I wasn't in there. JRC_finds. That's what you are on eBay.
Yeah, and also it's in the description of all of my other videos, along with my email, my Instagram, and a lot of other social media and accounts.
Okay. So yeah, if you go on YouTube, you can find Ethan on Junior Capitalist right there, and then it's got a link to all of his other stuff. So, man, thanks so much. Look at that. Richard is on top of it. Richard has just linked your store in the chat. So if people were looking for Ethan's store, if you want to buy that Ryan Newman door, that would be cool
Yeah.
to sell that off of our live tonight. Yeah, go and check it out. Thanks so much, guys, for swinging in. I'm going to send everybody over to Joey Bada Bing 22 if you want to go hang out with him. It's always fun. That guy is naturally caffeinated, and he's a good guy. He's a good friend. So go hang out with Joey if you're looking for somebody else doing a live tonight. But we're going to hang this up. I'm sure Ethan's got, he's got to get a hold of his guy. He's got to go buy a stock car or something. Ethan, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, man.
We'll see you guys.